On today's On Location, we're here on Lake Erie. I've got PJ Vick to my right and Nick Fossey next to him. And we just had ourselves an adventure out here on Lake Erie. Ice conditions are really marginal yet. We're kind of just working our way through the mother of all cold fronts, and it's done wonders to lock things up. But ice conditions, they're pretty terrifying in some locations.
They are. This snow that they've had over here in Ohio, they probably got dumped on about 10, 11 inches, has really made this ice formation not so consistent.
So we were lucky enough that Nick was willing to cart our souls around in the airboat. And first thing this morning, we needed it. Most of the lake is covered with, I would say, 4 to 6 inches of ice. There's lots of patches where it's 2 to 3. Not safe travel for, ATVs, snowmobiles, and we found a couple of those with the airboat. And I've never gone through that before. One, it's terrifying falling through the ice, even if you're in an airboat. It'll wake you up in the morning. And then having to deal with the icing that occurs, very cold temperatures today. And when you get a hull wet and it hits powder snow, well, it just creates a sticky slush, that kind of slush you can't get off your shovel. When you're shoveling your driveway, the exact same thing happened. So it was quite the process, learned a lot, and it reminded me that, you get 3 guys willing to work a little bit, 4 guys willing to work a little bit, give them some basic tools and you can accomplish just about anything. So very much a learning experience. The rest of the day has been a lot less eventful, except for the fact that I caught my longest ice walleye ever. So that'll definitely make this come and show. All of our fish, except for just a few, I had a couple on a spoon early on, but that really wasn't the jam. So all of our fish came on number 5 jig and wraps. I believe we had a couple different colors. Parrot was used for a while, but chrome blue, number 5 with a whole shiner on the belly, treble hook. That was what took all of our fish, save just a few that hardly even count.
And that's typically my go-to. I mean, the last few times it's frozen over here, which is, I believe, 2014 and 2015 and 2013, 2014. My favorite go-to lure back then still holds true today.
Well, for good reason. I mean, for whatever reason, those fish react much differently to that bait than a spoon or just a jig and a minnow. It fires them up, and they're so well fed that just putting a bait in front of their noses and expecting them to eat just doesn't work. So primary depths, we were out in 24 to 26, 27 foot of water. We started around F and G can and then bounced all the way up to, we started at F and G and worked our way towards E. That's where all of our better fish were caught. And then now we find ourselves right near A can. And the fish here have been numerous, but much smaller, to the point where some of the smaller fish that we put on the ice today were caught in this location. So overall, my impression of what's going on here is it's very early. A lot of the fish haven't moved in from the eastern basin. The best stuff's yet to come. There's a lot of great fish to be caught. I mean, most of the fish that we iced, even in these tough conditions, were 20 inches or better.
They were still nice, healthy fish. And I mean, just in you saying where we started and where we ended up, that's working a lot of water out here on Erie. And we did. We stuck with our game plan like we had talked about. We made them quarter to half mile moves, 15 minutes at a crack, and just kept right on rolling.
The airboat makes it incredibly efficient. I'm usually not one to go, I'm going to have one of those, but I'm probably going to have one of these. Everybody just rolls out of the sides, grabs an auger, you punch 4 holes, and as PJ pointed out, 15 minutes in a spot and you're gone. You paddle back in the airboat, off you go. Really no concerns about dropping machines through the ice, which is really, really nice. So this episode is going to air this coming Sunday. Check it out, Fox Sports North, 8 a.m. And of course, we will put it up on YouTube for those that don't get it on cable. And huge thanks to the guys with the airboat. We would not have been comfortable doing this, carting around tens of thousands of dollars of camera gear, knowing that one of those 2-inch thick spots was out there waiting for us. Before we go, the ice is going to change wildly here as we get a warm up that's coming, and then of course winds can change things. But one of the things we noticed is that as we moved further west, got towards, was it Mazurks?
Yeah. Yep.
That's where the ice was really poor.
That was scary, and then we ran into some trouble spots right out in front of Camp Perry as well. So
those were smaller.
Yeah. Yep.
Not that doesn't mean you shouldn't be concerned
Right.
there as well. But be talking with any of the local bait shops, and please do yourself a favor and make sure you're spotting out in front of you, or just follow a well-groomed or well-traveled trails. When you come out of a lot of the access points, you can see where everybody's been running. Start there and then branch off with caution. The best fishing out here is yet to come. That'll usually happen right before the ice kind of falls apart sometime in March, and there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be back for that. So thanks for checking out this On Location. We'll see you next week.
In-Depth Outdoors on Location, presented by Reed's Family Outdoor Outfitters. Reed's offers the best service, best price, best advice on all your favorite ice fishing gear. Guaranteed. Find them online at reedsports.com.